Hi everybody. Today we're going to do art in the style of Piet Mondrian. He did art that had mostly vertical and horizontal lines. Now those are lines, vertical lines go straight up and down, horizontal lines go straight across. He did most of his art like this. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start making just boxes. I'm going to make some lines horizontal and vertical. And we're going to mix it up. We're going to make lots of different lines, lots of different size rectangles. All of his art was pretty much rectangles. Make it interesting. You can make some lines that go all the way across. Just breaking up my paper right now with horizontal and vertical lines. Mix it up. You can get a lot of variety using just rectangles. Make some skinny, make some not, make some big, make some tiny. Fill the page. Have fun with it. And there you go. Now, for as long as we're going to be doing online learning this year, I'm going to be incorporating some of your other skills you're learning and your other subjects into your art projects. And this week we are doing area and perimeter. So I am going to measure and calculate some of the area and perimeter of some of these, we'll say 3 of these rectangles. So first off, let's pick this one. So I'm going to measure this. I can see that is just about 5 inches. So I'm going to write 5. And wow, that's exactly 4 inches. So 4. So I know I've got 2 edges are 5 and 2 edges are 4. Is 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus another 4 is 13. Plus 5 is 18. So that would be the perimeter of that. I want you to do that on another sheet of paper. Now, to do the area, we're going to multiply. So that's 4 times 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. We're going to calculate the area and perimeter for at least 3 of your larger rectangles. So let's go back to the art. Once I have my lines on there, got some options. Again, you're going to use whatever you have at your house. If you just have markers, just use markers. If you have stuff like paints or watercolor paints, you're absolutely encouraged to use those. You can use crayons, you can use markers. I'm going to use these Sharpies because I'm going to paint. Remember, if you're going to use something like watercolors over normal markers, they tend to bleed and get fuzzy. If you have permanent markers, that won't happen. If you do it with crayons, that also won't happen. If you do it with oil pastels, that won't happen. I'm going to start. Remember, use whatever you have. I'm going to pull out a few colors. I'm going to start going over my lines. All right, now I've gone over all of my lines, and I'm going to color some. We have some options here on how to color them in. Now, if you looked at that gallery I left over in my lesson plan of all Piet Mondrian's paintings, he did not color in every single square. He left a lot of white. And yeah, you guys can do that too. Now, if markers is what you got and you just want to color, you can do that. I'm going to do that for a couple. And we are making art in the style of an artist. We're talking about him. That does not mean we have to copy his art. If you want to add some stuff around, I don't know, maybe you want little creatures coming through here, or you want to blend colors a little bit more, or do something like that, I have no problem with that. What I'm concerned about is that you have your vertical and horizontal lines, and that you've calculated your perimeter and area for 3 different shapes. If you do have paints, that can be kind of fun. I'm going to do something with that now. It's just fine to paint with primary colors like that. I might do one more like that. But it's also interesting to mix colors. Maybe that would be interesting for some of these shapes. Maybe you want to try some blending. So when you do blend, maybe we'll start right here. I'm going to start with one color. And then maybe, let's make some of this right here. Maybe it's going to blend somewhere like this. And I'm going to come in with another color. I'm going to lay that over, and I'll use some water. I'm just going to kind of bring that through so it slowly changes from one color to the other. I really like using these kind of paints with this kind of project. That's what I would do if we were inside class right now. However, we do not have that option, so we've got to make do with what we have. And again, whatever you have is just fine. If you want to do patterns or something inside them, that's fine. Now, if you want to use these kind of watercolors, let me show you why you want to use Sharpies to do that. So if I use these kind of paints, I can go right over my lines, and they will not bleed. They'll stay right there. This watercolors are especially good for blending, because they just kind of, I mean, it flows like water. So I wanted to blend another color in there, so I want to put some a little bit more red. Put some red right here.
You decide how you want to finish your piece of art. Use the art supplies you have at home. Be creative with it. If you want to add some extra stuff to it, go for it. It's yours. What I'd like you to understand is that you can use simple shapes and still create a pretty impressive piece of art, like Piet and Mondrian. Keep going until you have something like this.
He did not fill in every single square on his art. He left some blank. You choose how far you want to go. Remember, if you've got other ideas on how to fill in these squares, I'm fine with that too. The important thing is that I see the vertical and the horizontal lines, and that I see that you calculate your perimeter and your area of at least 3 of the rectangles. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope to see you guys sometime soon. And if you have any questions or need anything, just let me know. Right?